Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is another fine Sunday here in Kisumu. The weather today is fantastic, and it's my hope and prayer that this particular video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Maybe you could just mark your presence. Are you present? Yesterday, I did a video on this platform. And in that video, I opined that William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, who is a very shrewd politician, who shocked the entire world by defeating a sitting president and one of the strongest opposition leaders in the world, was falling right into a trap which Raila Odinga laid for him over the issue of Cherera 4. And in that video, I explained clearly why I strongly believed that William Ruto was falling for Raila Odinga's trap. I explained that by responding the way he was doing, he was going to allow Raila Odinga the opportunity to continue exposing Wafula Chebukati and his dark secrets at IEBC. I also explained that Raila Odinga is likely to keep William Ruto busy. Of course, yesterday was a weekend, and as was expected, maybe William Ruto and his team were now busy responding to Raila Odinga, and that's what Raila Odinga wanted, because he wants to be on the limelight. I also explained that Raila Odinga actually thrives in such an environment. So if you create an environment which makes Raila Odinga to thrive, then what is the end game? And lastly, I also explained that it's going to achieve also two things. Number one, it's going to provide Raila Odinga supporters that opportunity to vent, because after the last election, Raila Odinga supporters just accepted the results. They were very bitter, they did nothing. So by provoking them, it means they will decide to vent using those particular rallies. And lastly, number two, is that Raila Odinga was likely to provoke Ruto to speak, and Ruto will respond. And yesterday, just before we went to bed, William Ruto had already responded to Raila Odinga. I'm just getting the tweet through Twitter. And just like I explained, Raila Odinga provoked Ruto. And Ruto then decided to use his official Twitter handle to respond shamelessly to Raila Odinga. I'm talking of shamelessly because William Ruto today is the President of the Republic of Kenya. His tweets are not only read by Kenyans. There are people who would want to go to William Ruto's Twitter handle just to see the progress Kenya is making. I'm saying, for example, if some ministers in the US or in Rwanda or somewhere in South Africa wants to see what Ruto is doing, they would simply go to his official Twitter handle instead of going to State House Kenya, because most of them will not know about the official State House handle. So these tweets by Ruto are normally very shameful. So this is what Ruto posted. Even with the system deep state, you lost the election. So basically from that tweet, it means William Ruto is still living in the era of the last election. Stop deluding yourself and lying. The coup to overturn the people's will using rogue commissioners, you are now threatening us with mandamano about failed. Just like I explained in that tweet, William Ruto will be struggling to win legitimacy. And that's why he's still talking of the coup to overturn the people's will. We know that in Africa, the world over, or even Kenya, elections really don't matter. Because, elections don't matter in Africa. Yeah, The only thing which happens normally is that you are either declared the winner or you are not. But people don't really win the election. And he's saying, you are now threatening us with Mandamano about failed. You know, he stopped there, but now he's now falling into that trap. That Raila Odinga is now threatening them with Mandamano. When Raila Odinga, first of all, talked of these parallel people's consultation meetings, William Ruto never took him seriously. And President Uhuru Kenyatta, former President Uhuru Kenyatta, actually intervened, and Raila Odinga decided not to pursue it. The moment Raila Odinga decided not to pursue it, then William Ruto and his allies started bragging. So Raila Odinga then took it to him. And that's why I'm talking of Ruto falling into Raila Odinga's trap. And I'm going to explain to you the whole thing, why Ruto responded this bitterly. Their guilt or innocence will be determined by tribunal. Rule of law it is. Now, William Ruto is talking of rule of law. He's talking of the guilt or the innocence of the Cherera 4, which is okay. The tribunal will be able to get. But these commissioners are under a lot of pressure to resign.
Of that for example, in Juja, and let's be candid. In Juja, the total number of votes obtained by all the parliamentary candidates is 85,000. The president has 100,000. Now it means 15,000 people voted for the president and walked away. They didn't vote for the parliamentary candidate. I mean, how is that possible? So we are saying as the Orange Democratic Movement that we want the commission to make an announcement on the basis of results that are authentic and that have a basis and that have supporting documents. The commission have told us that they have sent a plane to look for these results. We have been told that it will be ready by about 3 o'clock. We want to verify those things before any announcement is made, because we have figures everywhere and every other place have figures. Let me finalize by saying all the documents that we have show clearly that Raila Amolo Odinga has 4,215,437 and Honorable Moi Kibaki has 3,748,261 votes. That is what we have. And if the commission is going to announce other results, they must tell us on the basis of what. And we have pointed to them very clearly. And we thank God that they allowed us last night to peruse the file, because on perusing of the file, it was absolutely clear that announcements were being made here which did not have any basis, because there were no documents to support whatever announcements that were being made. If a figure is going to be assigned to somebody 50,000, you can as well assign him 500,000. Because, I mean, if you are assigned figures without any supporting documents, then you can assign a figure you...
Because William Ruto will not want a situation where these people will face the tribunal. Because someone like Cherera will now be able to produce before court what she knows. And that will be bad for Ruto. And that's why some of the commissioners alleged that they were under a lot of pressure from some cabinet secretaries just to resign, so that new commissioners can go, so that they can get their benefits. But why do I strongly feel that these shameless responses by Ruto are actually motivated or aimed at achieving certain objectives, and that William Ruto is responding like this because he is cornered? Before we get into all those, for those who are watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Please, for this particular video, just give it thumbs up. Now, why is William Ruto responding the way he did to Raila Odinga? It's not the first time. Why is his tweets shameless? Because as a Kenyan, I know we support, there are those who support Ruto, there are those who don't support him. there's a general agreement that these kind of tweets are not necessary. I was going through, I don't know whether I can get it. I was going through a post which was shared by this by one of William Ruto's bloggers. I don't know whether he has deleted them. He shared this particular tweet, and the response, which was from the supporters there, really shocked me. Really shocked me. I think he has deleted them. Lemiso had shared this particular tweet. You know, Lemiso is a Kalenjin, and the response, the people who are responding to that tweet, who are mostly Kalenjins, were in disagreement with that particular tweet, that William Ruto need to focus. But why is William Ruto responding in this manner? Number one, William Ruto is very bitter with this planned demo. The truth of the matter is that on Friday, William Ruto was visited by the church, and the church told him to ensure that there is no demos, that he needed to reach out to Raila Odinga. Before that, Uhuru Kenyatta had actually talked to Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga had decided not to proceed. But William Ruto, in his typical fashion, started responding to Raila Odinga through some roadside rallies, through his proxies, and Raila Odinga said, okay, bring it on. So William Ruto is very bitter by the fact that these planned rallies, because when Raila Odinga tells you your wife is pregnant, just get ready. These rallies are going to go on. And the fact is, people are going to attend them. And Raila Odinga has followers. I've always explained on this platform that the only politician who has followers is Raila Odinga. As long as people will attend these rallies, it will not be in the good interest of William Ruto. And that's why William Ruto is very bitter about this planned rally and is responding the way he's doing. Number two, I also tend to think that William Ruto has some of the most clueless communications team. I thought Raila Odinga had some clueless communication team, but here Ruto is worse. And now I can understand why Uhuru Kenyatta actually kicked them out. You know, William Ruto is now the president of the Republic of Kenya. You don't just manage his Twitter handle, his Facebook page, the way you were managing it when he was kind of opposition, a deputy president who was in opposition. William Ruto is now in charge. He's the commander-in-chief. You know, as a commander-in-chief, people should just see your action. Instead of issuing this kind of threats, let Raila Odinga go to the street, deal with him. People will just see you dealing with Raila Odinga. People will just see you arresting so-and-so. People, you know, you talk less, but you act instead of these threats. Because if you issue the threats, then they go ahead, then it will backfire on you. So he has clueless communication team. Number three, William Ruto is actually still obsessed with the Donald Trump playbook. You know, when William Ruto formed his URP party, it was about the Republican Party of the US. Now, when Trump began his campaigns, which propelled him to the presidency, William Ruto learned a lot from him and started applying his tactics. Donald Trump's campaign was full of outright lies. That's exactly what William Ruto is good at. Full of misinformation and disinformation. If you followed Donald Trump's campaign, Donald Trump was targeting a specific group of people in the US, which are called the whites, who he called the forgotten people. William Ruto in Kenya decided to go for the so-called hustlers or mama mboga, mtu wa pikipiki, mtu wa boda boda. So you could actually compare William Ruto's campaign to those of Donald Trump. Donald Trump disrespected everybody. He would call Joe Biden at that time Sleepy Joe. He would call Hillary Clinton names. The current ambassador, US ambassador to Kenya here, a white man, Donald Trump would call her funny names. when you come to Ruto, he would do the same. He would call Raila Odinga, oh, mtu wa kitendawili. He would call Mudavadi all sorts of name. He would call Weta during those time. Remember, huyu mtu anapigwa na bibi. So he was copying from Donald Trump playbook. Donald Trump tweets, if you go to them, in fact, Twitter had to remove him from their platform because of the way he was tweeting. That's exactly what Ruto is still trying to do. He's still copying those Trump strategies. I don't know whether they are still relevant because it helped him, but I don't know whether it's still relevant, because if he was copying them and those tweets and those kind of strategies took Donald Trump home, he should be worried. And lastly, I think it is now clear that Ruto has fallen for Raila Odinga trap and is now trying to divert the attention of Kenyans from the real objectives of Raila Odinga's maandamano. I don't know what you think, but for me, if you ask me, William Ruto is cornered by Raila Odinga, and that's why he's moving towards that direction. Because you can go to William Ruto's tweets after he won the presidency, the way he used to tweet, until the time Raila Odinga started now challenging the government, how the tone of the tweets have changed. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. Bye-bye.